So, a couple hours ago, one of these basic miners just hit a block. Can you guess which one it was? It was this one. As you can see, block found. I know what you're all thinking. This guy must be rich. No, because it was a DigiByte block. 277.70 DigiByte, worth $1.86. Not bad. Not looking to make profit. It's a hobby. These are mining Bitcoin Cash, so if these hit, that'll be a good payday. But for a solo miner pulling 18 watts, which if you have low electricity cost, can cost you not that much every month to run these, especially if you have solar or battery backup. Let me show you what it looks like when you finally hit a block. So essentially, when you're on the swarm feature in the Axe OS, that device that hit the block itself, it will say block found. It's pretty exciting to see that. When we click on it, that actual device itself, it will say today is your lucky day, your device found the block, and it'll be raining confetti. So this device was hashing at 1.05 terahashes per second at efficiency of around 18 joules per terahash. So this device was running for about 3 days before it actually found the DigiByte block. It wasn't overclocked. Everything was just running as normal. And yeah, it's pretty fun when you wake up and you hit a block. So we can go here to solo mining stats. At the time, still currently, these devices are doing about, let's go back to the swarm feature, about 19 terahashes per second. Oh, I'm sorry, well, the nerd Q axes are on Bitcoin Cash, so it's only about 4, and I have a couple of Avalon Nanos, so it's about, those are medium level, about 10 terahashes mining. But for that one device, for it to find a block with 1 terahash in only about 3 days is pretty cool. Especially with the low electricity cost. If you have solar, it's essentially going to cost you nothing to run these. So, last hour, yep, 10 terahash running on this solo pool. Same thing for the last day. And this was the device here, O2, that actually hit the block. And the block reward will stay on the Axe OS like this until you actually restart the device. So we'll go ahead and do that now, because when it hits another block we want to know. So we'll go ahead and hit the restart button. Device has restarted. You can hear the fan spooling up, and now we are back to the normal page. So if we hit another block, we will know. But yeah, it is possible to still hit blocks today. Obviously, it's not a huge payout compared to mining some of the big boy blocks, but it's still fun. It's a fun hobby. You can still get some paid. You never know, DigiByte might go up in the future. I'm printing a tower currently that is going to hold 4 of these. It's going to have a 120 millimeter knock to a fan. I have some upgrades. I'm going to remove these from the case for some better airflow. These I'll leave for now. I have 2 more of these coming just because the PCB are different colors. These are 2 blue ones, so I want to have it uniform. So this will have a BitX gamma on each side, the fan underneath. Somebody 3D designed this already to fit this perfectly onto the support on the knock to a fan. And yeah, it should cool the back of them, allowing for overclock, but you know, we'll see how that goes. It might slightly overclock them, but mainly to keep the place quiet and for longevity of the miners itself. As they heat up, it can cause them to have premature wear and tear. These ones, I reset the wallet address to something different, so these has just restarted. But as you can see, we're mining for Bitcoin Cash on this. The best difficulty this has hit, probably mining for about 4 or 5 days, is 226 million. This one is 445 million. This one is 482 million. And it's pretty interesting how, you know, probabilities work. So when you plug them all in at the same time, you'll see how many shares this has completed so far compared to what the best share is. At one point in time, this will be mining a lot more shares, but it'll get like a low block. And then this one will have, you know, higher shares, will have a higher block. But eventually, due to probabilities, they usually end up, you know, getting pretty close. And by the time I reset these, they probably had about like 1,300 shares each. And the best share from each one was pretty similar. 482, 445. This one was obviously half the amount. So I'm sure, as you guys know, in case you've never hit a block before, for you to win, you have to pass a difficulty level determined by that coin itself. So for DigiByte, it's around 1.2 or 1.1 G, which is in the billions. And this one hit, I believe, 1.16 Gs. So that's how this hit a block. So whenever one of these difficulty levels go past 1.1 G, you will hit a block. For Bitcoin Cash, it's a lot higher. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it's around 400 Gs. And then Bitcoin is in the T's, the trillions, which is exponentially harder to hit. So yeah, just wanted to put that out there for you guys in case you wanted to know what it looks like when you hit a SHA-256 block or any block on the AXOS. Yep, pretty awesome. Hope to hit more blocks. I have some more NerdQ axes on the way, so hopefully these will be the quantity will be doubled pretty soon. And these things are awesome. I would not go with the Canon, Avalon, Nano, even the 3S's. Just having everything under one platform, under the AXOS, being able to monitor everything nice and cleanly, it's way better. Oh, got a lot of dust in the garage on my laptop screen. Yeah, I wouldn't, if you're gonna start home mining, I would say just go with the AXOS devices, BitAxes, and just expand from there. They're just more reliable. The screen has way more information. The back end has way more information. It's just, I don't know, a lot cooler. Seems more reliable. They take up less footprint, and I don't know. In my experience, the Canon, they're so finicky. You touch them, they restart. You plug them in. You need to plug them in like 5 times for them to be up and running again. I don't know. I feel like they produce more heat too. Yeah, for cost per terahash, they are cheaper. You can get a Canon Avalon Nano 3S for like $299, which hashes 6 terahash. These do, 4.8 terahash. You can get them for like $400. The newer ones that have the XT30 connectors, some upgraded cooling, those ones will allow you to overclock them to get to that 6 terahash. Obviously, you're going to be adding more wear and tear onto the devices itself. I would say pay up a little bit more for these nerd axes. The software overall is just better. If something happens, you have a higher chance of being able to repair them. There's a lot more repair services. With the Canon stuff, you have to use the repair services that they recommend or send it back to them. And yeah, and another cool thing about having small individual miners doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terahashes instead of a bigger machine is, let's say this does mess up. Let's say this chip does fry. You can just replace this for $100. I have a Canon Avalon Nano 3 does 4 terahashes. It went out of warranty like 5 days after it expiring the warranty. It messes up, doesn't power on anymore, and that's 4 terahashes gone. That is not repairable. Or let's say you have something that does 10, 15, 20, 30 terahashes. I guess that was a bad example because this is 4 terahash too. That's still relatively small. Doesn't affect me that much. But let's say at a bigger scale, you have the Mini 3 or you have the Q. You're doing 80 terahashes or 37.5. Imagine if that machine goes out of warranty. you're gonna have to pay like $1,100, $1,800 to replace one of those. So you know, smaller scale miners, it's definitely better to go with a smaller footprint, quieter. These fans are gonna get replaced, and you know, with these bit axes, the company you buy them from does make a difference. As you can see, these are a lot louder. These are a lot quieter. I know it's in an enclosed case, it's probably not the best. It does have a lot of airflow going through it, but at the same time, yeah, you want to choose something with, you know, either go cheaper where obviously they're using, you know, similar PCBs. As long as the PCBs are good quality, you can always, if you're planning to upgrade the fans. But if you're not planning to upgrade anything, pay a little bit more and get something that already has a quieter fan. You don't want to hear a slight buzzing the entire time from months on months and months end. So those are my recommendations. I would say for home mining, you know, do not get into the big boy ASICs. Obviously, super loud, but if something does happen, even if you buy one for like $1,100, like the mini Canon Mini, yeah, it's not going to be a good day when that burns out. But yeah, just wanted to show you what it looks like when you hit a block. Enjoy, guys, and good luck.